Within nearly every aspect of our lives, we've incorporated the use of technology to improve ease, efficiency, and innovation. Schools have been one of the fastest industries to implement technology as they shape young minds through screens. By 2021, 93% of teachers across Iowa reported having access to computers for their students. 78% of teachers agreed that technology enhanced student learning and provided a more individualized experience for each student. Schools across the state have proven to aggressively adapt to this technology-integrated classroom as it provides opportunities for accelerated learning and became essential during the pandemic. Unfortunately, with increased technology comes increased risk and a new outlet for criminals to enter the classroom.
Cybersecurity officials warning school districts about potential hacking threats.
This morning, a new urgent warning from the federal government about the rising cyber threat against the nation's schools.
Criminal ransomware groups see opportunities in school districts with limited cybersecurity resources.
The FBI and U.S. cybersecurity say a ransomware gang known as Vice Society has been disproportionately targeting the education sector with ransomware attacks.
We are learning more about a apparent ransomware attack on an Iowa school district. So a staff member sent our partner station in Cedar Rapids a screenshot of what a Linn-Mar Schools District computer showing a group called Vice Society demanding money to release district data.
In the past 5 years, a silent war has ramped up targeting children, their education, and their identities. Linn-Mar is just one example of an Iowa school falling victim to these international criminals left essentially defenseless in protecting their faculty and families' information. Besides cyber training and purchasing insurance, the state's only idea for preventing repeat attacks is to withhold information from when your school has been successfully hit. Although the attack on Linn-Mar School District occurred July 31st, 2022, the families and staff were not properly notified of a cyber attack that compromised their data until October 10th. This lack of transparency is not unique to Linn-Mar, as many attacks go completely unreported. Your children, your teachers, your neighbors could all be victims and you likely wouldn't know.
The public doesn't realize the magnitude of the issue, in part because school officials, government officials don't necessarily see it in their best interest to share with the citizens that our cybersecurity protections were not as thorough as we thought they were.
I would say that every school district is attacked in one way or another every single day. More common that they don't don't get in the newspaper. They try to keep those things, contained if possible. In Western Iowa, where I'm at, we have medium to small schools. That difference in size and the difference in access to resources is a big deal. But if you get down to those very small school districts that are under 500 students, they typically have a technology director that's not a formally trained technology director. And they also don't have access to the same resources, financial resources that large school districts have in order to put in place, some really significant cybersecurity measures.
My name is Devin Embray, and I am the superintendent of schools for Glenwood Community School District. Before the attack happened, I think we just had our basic malware. We had our basic, we had like a Sophos type of a virus detection system that was kind of that laid across our district. We felt we were kind of locked down for the most part. We did in hindsight find out that the ransomware attack came in through an open port that was there. Left by a former tech director to work from home.
One of schools' greatest defenses in this war against cybercriminals has proven to be one of their greatest challenges to receive, especially for smaller school districts with lower budgets.
Cyber insurance has doubled and tripled in cost so much over the last 5 years based on the activities within the cybersecurity fraud world. That's what drives a lot of that cost.
While the cybersecurity companies have been becoming more and more vigilant about the underwriting process, asking literally hundreds of questions about the the environment, the cyber environment that the school district operates, and then basing the price, the quote, for the insurance on the risks.
Insurance companies have figured out over the last 5 years that offering a $5,000 policy and then paying a $5 million ransom is not a great business model. So as a result of that, those insurance policies have gone from a 1-page questionnaire to like a 35-page audit. And they often need assistance to get through that to even get insurance. It's actually that hard to get now.
Our current tech director would tell you that to become fully safe, it's totally inconvenient for your staff. They'll have to go through a lot of hoops to get into their computer every day to process and move files, and I think it's just going to be a necessary evil of what we do moving forward.
Now staff in all of the school districts that we serve are required to have multi-factor, a password they know, and something else to get them into their systems. The next thing is coming is multi-factor for kids, and that's going to be a kind of a deal because second graders don't necessarily have. Hopefully, they don't have a phone. So what is that other thing? And that other thing, a lot of times, is an encryption device, like a USB encryption device that you have and you put into the computer, something like that, or biometrics, like fingerprints or retina scanners and that kind of stuff. That's all coming to make sure that you are who you are.
I think we are trying to make ourselves less vulnerable on a daily basis, and I think ransomware people are finding new ways and new things to do to get around those. So it's going to be an ever-lasting battle, in my opinion, in terms of how much we can do that's humanly possible that doesn't cause us to be so inefficient in what we do for our job.
It's a fine line between taking the necessary steps to ensure our school's safety and implementing unrealistic protocols that prohibit schools from the ability to operate. Regardless of these safe practices, schools face attempted attacks daily, are in a constant battle to afford cyber insurance, and yet people don't care because they don't know. Right now, the only winners of this silent war are the cyber criminals.
One of the ways that both the citizens of a school district or members of the Iowa legislature recognize the scope of the problem is through public information.
I know that insurance companies and their lobby would be lobbying hard in the legislature to keep cybersecurity incidents suppressed if possible, because their belief, it's also the belief of the FBI and Department of Homeland Security that once the who and the how get out about cyber incidents, it encourages other attacks.
I understand and I empathize with the officials' concerns about making too much information available because it could serve a detrimental purpose in letting hackers or would-be hackers know what the college or the school district knows. But that's when you look at who the vendor is, what the contract amount is, none of that gets into the sort of the nuts and bolts of the network security or precautions that have been installed since the hackers got in. All we're talking about there is just educating the public in a small way on what the scope of this problem is, and the way the public knows how big the problem is when their eyes start bugging out, when they see how much it costs to get rid of the problem or to keep the problem from occurring again.